Peace and blessings, family. This is your boy Jeriel. It is Friday, the 28th of July, 2017. How is everybody doing? I know. I've been on here pretty active, haven't I? But you know what? Went out, had some errands that I had to take care of, and I know for those who listen to the radio and catching the daily dosage of the boob tube, things are being a little more bleak. Things are actually becoming more distorted to the point that there are those that are taking a position to be bold. I ain't got to tell you, family, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that live in fear and want you to take on that same mindset to keep you distracted from where you are intended to be. You realize you still have a whole lot of summer that you are to take hold of. For some of you, this is going to be the springboard to the rest of your life. To others, this is nothing but validation. And to some, this is the moment that the real you is being questioned or being called to be still. That's right, family. We're talking about the real you, not the person that's outside in the world. I'm talking about the person that gets to see that little boy or little girl that lives inside you every morning. Because we're talking your emotions, but to really talk about your emotions, we must first identify your spirit. See, that's what keeping it real is all about. See, if you can't find comfort in your own skin, you will never find comfort in your environment because that is nothing but litmus paper or the, how shall we say, the effect of what you manifest. Oh, yes. But I understand because confusion is king, and there are a lot of people benefiting off of your confusion. They want to keep you distracted. They don't want you to grow because they know the moment that you decide to put the work in, the real you will be called forth. And the real you deserves everything intended the moment you took your first breath. But you're about to step into your weekend. And I ask, wherever you are, love yourself. Take the stopwatch out your life. It's okay to assess where you are compared to where you're headed. This is all the things that are required for the makings of you. That's right. I understand because there are continuous paths being given out for imitation. But you'll come to understand when you put yourself up, the real you compared to what is a carbon copy, you'll realize how more you'll shine. But yes, there's a concession that must be made. And that concession is defined by truth. Understanding why you are seeing what you're seeing, why you are feeling what you're feeling, and why all things are revealed as it should. Now, unfortunately, there are those that will not make any excuses. They will not take accountability. And all they want to do is rob you of the clarity that you're entitled to. That's right, family. Because systematically, they're going after your kids. Yeah, your babies. As I explained long ago, what is being measured is not found in your pocket. It's the endless possibilities that is found within your mind. Who am I talking to? Why do you think there's so much effort to keep you from where you need to be, only to be surrendered to what you want? Because there's an underlying trade-off that's going on right before you, just as well as there's spiritual battle as well. You do understand you have angels around you, right? Some know them as spirit guides, when in actuality, those are nothing but the loved ones that have come before you, that have blazed the trail for the path that you will take, like passing the baton on to continue your legacy. You are called to do so. Now, I understand there are going to be some that are going to hear what I have to say and they say, well, Joe, that's all fine and dandy, but it's Friday and I am going to kick up dust. There's nothing wrong with you enjoying yourself. Just be safe. Protect yourself. Because there are those that walk and have an agenda to ensure that that does not come to pass. Some right in your environment, but they yet have been revealed to you. That's what truth is going to do. That is why your discernment now more than ever is being called. They want nothing more than for you to give up on yourself. Because they also know that half the battle is done. Because they realize it's just a matter of time before you conform. They know that. That's why they continue to throw the propaganda, the imagery in front of you, hoping that you will take the bait instead of seeing the blessing. Who am I talking to? I got it. I understand. You're frustrated. Things ain't falling like you wanted to, right? You can tell me. It's because you're overlooking something that is very significant, that is right before you now. But you can't see it until you allow yourself to be vulnerable to the real you. Because see, the you that's out in the world can't hold the candle to the you that's behind closed doors. Who am I talking to? So why are you holding on to shame? Why are you holding on to burden? Why are you in love with your disappointment? And why won't you acknowledge that last setback? Yeah, you know the one you just was in. But look at you now. Maybe that's the reason why they're not around. Who am I talking to? This is just nothing but a validation of what you feel, what you know. The real reason is why won't you see it for yourself? How much suffering you got to go through? How many L's do you have to collect before you decide to turn around? Go within to take accountability. You don't do it for them, you do it for you, because that is what is going to guide you to where you're headed. Surely you don't think that the people in your environment are going to be there in the end, do you? And I say this out of compassion, because the reality is they won't. It's just a matter of time before you see it crystal clear, which will be the same time that you decide to throw that victim card out the window, which will be the same time you will embrace every fiber of you. See, there'll never be another you, family. You do understand that, right? So why are you putting so much effort trying to look like her, sound like him, but they can't wait or hold the burden of what's required to hold your heart. If they knew, do you actually think they would take you through what you've been through? And you do know that everything that you experience, it is part of your story. So if you don't like how your story is playing out, you do have free will to change it. And you don't need permission from anybody to be you. So will the real you stand up? Because the last time I checked, that table is endless, called misery. And there's always going to be a seat for those who don't want to take accountability. You think you're supposed to go through life in struggle? Your money ain't right. You said I'm broke, but yet you're going to be in the club tonight, huh? Take the ransom note off of your dreams. And I got it. There are people that are going to convince you to take the position of, well, that's why we do what we do, and that's why my position is the way it is, but they won't take a position to stand with God. Don't you see you deserve better? Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. You will see him again. Yes, you will. They'll just look a little older, a little more wearier. And unfortunately, there will be some changes that might make you even tremble when you lay your eyes upon them, when the intended time and moment approaches. That's why it doesn't make any sense to harbor hate, to take a position of ignorance. You know, how is it in 2017? We still have those who have the ideology to hate. Surely some will not understand, because these are the same people that perpetrate, these soup coolers are getting in the way. They perpetrate the same energy, because it is energy. Words have energy. You do understand, I've echoed it countless times. The human body gives off two frequencies, family. Fear, which is a low frequency, and love, which is a high frequency. You don't have to believe me. You're smart. Do the research yourself. Who am I talking to? I'm saying this to someone because I got a feeling someone is in a place of impulse right now. Your mind says this, but your body says something else. And you don't know which way to go. I say to you, pray. Ask for validation, and it will be shown. Or do nothing and adapt to the repercussions that will come. Choice is yours. Remember, the two spiritual gifts that God gave you was to unconditionally love yourself. The second one is free will, the right to choose. But if you don't choose you first, what's the point? Now, I know there's countless people that have had a position or made it or in a situation where it felt like coulda, woulda, shoulda. But let me tell you something. There's no such thing as coulda, woulda, shoulda. Everything is divinely done. Even your pain. You know, pain is very sobering. It serves a reason. Kind of like bringing you back in alignment to where you need to be, not where you want to be, because you'll come to understand there are countless people that want to do something, but it's far from what they need, and they end up repeating the cycle over and over and over and over, and they are in turmoil. But the sad thing about it, these people are very intelligent. They're very aware of their situation, but yet they don't like the outcome. So we can literally say, you're taking a position of the insane. Einstein said it best. Choosing to do a certain task or behavior, expecting a different outcome. It's madness. That's insanity. Why would you do it? What about the energy given? Energy out is energy return, family. The cycle is never broken, like the infinity sign. So why can't it be from a position of emotional safety? Because I'll tell you why. To feel emotionally safe, you must have a relationship with yourself. That is what intimacy is. But if you don't have a connection with God first, you will never have a connection with you. As I've echoed countless times, Diana Ross sung the theme to one of her classic movies called Mahogany. If you've never seen that movie, you can actually probably pull it up right on YouTube, right here on YouTube. But what was so prolific about that movie was the song. You can pull that up right up here too. Just listen to the words. And I understand that's a lost art, because if people actually listen to the lyrical content, they would be more responsible to what they take in. You know, that sound. And that sound is narrated by words. And those words have a frequency. That is why you're able to tap into your memory, because of that frequency. So the real question should be, why aren't you tapping into you? Because until you decide to tap into you, you can't release what's rightfully already yours. And the sad thing about it is those, those opportunities, they don't want you to figure that out, because they like tapping you too. No matter what the resource is. Some is all, some is none, some is all above you. And some of y'all know that's where that scar came from, huh? Some of y'all dealing with those emotional ones too. Those are the ones you can't see. It's time for you to free yourself. What you waiting on? Because the moment that you decide to put the work in, your real life will begin, because you're worth it. I take that back. You're priceless. Now, I hope wherever you are well. This is something only you know. But if you have any questions or concerns, I'm extending this out to you. Feel free to drop me a line. You don't have to worry about who will see it, because everything is hidden unless I release it. But if you have a question, you need some advice, or you just want an opinion from me, don't let your fingers stop you. The worst thing you'll get from me is a blessing by way of a prayer, but truth nonetheless. So if you guys have plans today, be safe. Be safe out there. I don't have to tell you. I don't know about y'all, but have you noticed the highways are speeding up more? But what's more terrifying, look to your left or look to your right the next time you're on the road. Just glance over and watch how many people are doing this. That's the person that's basically saying your life does not matter. And I know some of y'all may be seeing this. Haven't you noticed there's a lot of people driving with their headlights on. They like to ride up on you, and they try to cause reactions. Be careful about that too, because all it takes is for someone not to pay attention to forever change your life. So take the stopwatch out your life and get to where you need to be so you can get back to where you belong. Hope you have a great and blessed weekend. God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. If he don't have a relationship with God, what makes you think he gonna have a relationship with you? You better see your worth. Be blessed.